What's up, guys? This is Silver Fang, and today I'm gonna be reviewing the Heavens. The full name is Fate State Night Heaven's Feel Movie 1. Overall opinion is that it was a great movie, really great animation, but I'm gonna get into that a little later. Beforehand, I have some information for you guys. First things first, really excited. I just ordered a new mic, so I can't wait for that to get here. Gonna bring you guys some better sound quality, so that's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for it to get here. Probably be here within the week, hopefully. So that's something new and exciting. The next thing, you probably heard this before if you've seen some of my other videos, but I also have a backup channel. You should definitely go over there and subscribe over there, because I do a lot of reactions here, and YouTube is very strict with our copyright policies. So just in case anything happens to this channel, you should go subscribe over there to that channel. I'll leave the link to that in the description and in the comment section below. Also, one more thing, I'm actually want to implore you guys to help me out reach my goal of 100 subs. I'm trying to reach this goal by the end of this week, or the latest the middle of next week. We're at 79 right now, so it's definitely possible. It's definitely doable, so please help me out with that. I will really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get into the review.
I call forth unlimited blade works.
First thing we see in the movie is Shiro's backstory. Not backstory, as it's more of a, I think it's like a 2-year backstory. So before the events of the original State Night come in. So this is when he was in the archery club, how he got to meet Sakura. That was pretty much the whole point of the background, to show more of the story of him meeting Sakura. And then after we get to current events, well, before that, he actually met Sakura while he was hurt from the archery club. He got injured in his job and had to quit the archery club. So I'm not sure, but they kind of implied that Shinji sent Sakura to help him out because he couldn't look after himself, but he did. He actually could have. He was being just fine, but I guess Sakura kind of took a liking to him and she wouldn't leave. So that's how they end up meeting up. Their relationship is actually really nice. So I'm guessing, because I noticed there's big differences between the State Nights. It was like the first State Night, it was based on Shiro and Saber mostly, meaning how in that timeline is how Shiro fell in love with Saber. Then in the next timeline, Shiro actually, in the Unlimited Blade Works timeline, Shiro actually falls in love with Tosaka. And I'm assuming that in this timeline, the Heaven's Field timeline, I'm guessing Shiro is gonna be ending up falling in love with Sakura. And they definitely foreshadow that throughout the whole movie. So that's a big point. And if that's the case, I think that's the last timeline that we're gonna see from Stay Night, just because I don't see any other love interest that Shiro could possibly fall in love with. So, and if there's no love interest, then it would definitely take away a big part of the story. So I don't think they're gonna be doing any other timelines after Heaven's Field, because I know that Heaven's Field 3, I think, is coming out. So that's fun. I can't wait for that. So that's dope. I don't think they're gonna make another one, honestly. So all we got left is all the other fates that are coming out, that are like a whole bunch. They're like, if I'm not mistaken, they're like 6 or 7 other series from Fate, plus other movies. So that's crazy. So the next thing that happened is, so there's I think I figured it out. The decision process that ended up switching this timeline was that everything went normal until the fight with Hercules in the church. Everything was normal until the fight with Hercules in the church. And what ended up happening there was that Shiro got injured, but Saber didn't. And instead of Tosaka taking both of them home, Tosaka actually left because Saber was fine. So Tosaka actually left, and Shiro and Saber walked home on their own. And that's when they find Shinji and Ryder eating the soul of one of their schoolmates. And Shinji tries to fight Shiro with Ryder. And oh my god. Saber completely destroyed Ryder. Like, it was no joke. It was like she got one-shotted. And the thing is, like, Saber was mad calm. I don't think she moved from the spot that she started in. I don't think she moved. So that's crazy. Another thing was that since Shinji got defeated so easily in the first, the first few days of the Great War, his grandfather pretty much lost all faith in Shinji and pretty much decided to pretty much get involved in the war on his own, because he knew that Shinji was not gonna win, because he got defeated pretty quickly. Actually, I think that was, I believe, like one of the first. I don't think the Great War had a week that had started and Shinji had already been defeated. So his grandfather, forgot his name, pretty much lost all faith in him. Pretty much said to himself, like, you're worthless. I expect nothing from you. So that led to some pretty big changes, because, and they haven't exactly stated that he is, but we can assume that he was the one that summoned the real assassin, and that was brutal. Like, I don't know why, but I figure or maybe assassin was in spirit form, I don't know, but the way that the animation showed it was like that assassin came out, the true assassin came out of the assassin that Caster had summoned. And there's two things that could have happened there. It was either that when assassin was summoned, he was summoned to the place where the other assassin was, or it could have been that he was in spirit form and he actually took assassin's heart. So that's a possibility. I'm not sure what happened there, because the animation made it seem like he came out of Caster's assassin. So I don't know. But then he proceeds to kill not only Caster's assassin, he kills assassin, he kills Caster, and he also kills the professor, which was true. There were one of the biggest players in both Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works. I was highly surprised when they got killed so early on. So the next exciting thing that happened after that was the true assassin versus Lancer, and that was a doozy. Everything about it was on point. The animation was amazing. The sound was crisp. Everything was on point. The chase was awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. The animation for the chase was amazing. Assassin's Noble Phantasm is OP as hell. If he touches you, I don't know if he has to touch the part of your chest where your heart is, or he just can touch you anywhere. But if he touches you, he pretty much takes your heart and crushes it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's insane to me. That's OP as hell. That's OP as hell. And that's where we get to see the first introduction of, I think, the main antagonist or the main force behind this storyline. Because I don't know if I can call it an antagonist, because I'm not sure if it's an entity or if something is controlling it. But we see like this creature, like this dark shadow thing that pretty much takes the body of Lancer and absorbs it for some reason, for some purpose. I don't know what that purpose is, but yeah, we got to see that. We're still not sure what it is yet. We're probably gonna get more of that in the next Seven Field movie that I haven't seen yet, but I'm definitely gonna check out probably today or tomorrow. So after that, we jump to another fight, which was Saber and Archer versus the old guy and the dead corpse of Castor. He was controlling the dead corpse of Castor, and that was really surprising to me because yes, we did see that Assassin took Castor's body, but I was under the impression that after a heroic spirit dies, their body disappears and they go back to the whole of heroes or whatnot. So that was really interesting how he was able to control Castor's dead body. I'm not sure what's going on there yet. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something in the next movie because we didn't see Lancer's body disappear. We didn't see Castor's body disappear. And I can assume that the reason Lancer's body didn't disappear is because the shadow creature took him. And when we see this fight, all of a sudden, for no reason, this shadow entity thing appears on the park. And pretty much he throws, it's like this shadow thing. I'm not sure if it can even be called an attack. It's like a shadow just stands from the ground, and if the shadow touches you, then I don't know what Shiro saw. I honestly don't know, but it was something disturbing. It was something horrible. I don't know what it was that he saw. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to know more about that later. But now there's this entity who is not a servant, who is not supposed to be part of the Grey War, and that's pretty much what we're focusing on right now. Honestly, in this movie, it felt like the whole Grey War took a back seat because this shadow thing is the main focus right now. Even Kotomine met with Shiro to talk about the shadow. So like the Grey War right now seems to be at a halt. When this shadow thing takes the servant, you lose your command seals. And that's the same thing that happened to Shiro when he lost Saber. His command seals were gone, and I think he had 2 of them left. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if we're gonna get back to that in the next movie. Hopefully we do, and we get to talk about it a little bit more. But back to the Shiro thing. When the next interesting thing that happened was that Shiro was at his home. Assassin ambushed him, and it was pretty clear to me that it was a distraction because there's no way that an assassin class servant can defeat a Saber unless through some underhanded tricks. It shouldn't be possible. It's definitely a possibility, and I know that's a little bit contradicting. Like, there's always exceptions in a fight, but it's highly improbable that an assassin class servant can beat a Saber class. So that was, to me, it was obvious that it was a distraction. So he starts running away, and Saber starts chasing him, and Shiro gets ambushed by the old Mato guy. So I don't know. I feel like Saber definitely dropped the ball there just a little bit, because I don't know, but it was pretty obvious to me. As soon as I saw Assassin attacking Shiro, I'm like, okay, I don't think Assassin will make this kind of move. It's kind of reckless, because he doesn't know if Saber is around Shiro. So I don't think he would do that and then try to take on Saber. That makes no sense to me. And I feel like Saber, knowing that Shiro is not an actual master and doesn't know how to use magic, I think she should pretty much be more concerned of leaving him alone instead of fighting Assassin, just because Shiro can pretty much lose to any mage at this point in the story. Because at this point in the story, Shiro hasn't trained in magic at all. He doesn't know how to project things yet. Like, so Shiro's pretty much useless when it comes to being a mage at this point. So I think that Saber should have been a little bit more careful when it came to leaving Shiro alone, because obviously if you get an attack from a servant, the master shouldn't be far behind. So I feel like she really dropped the ball. You guys might have a different opinion when it comes to that, but I feel that she definitely dropped the ball there. And when Shiro was against the wall, that it was finally, he actually finally decided to summon Saber back to him. It was too late, because Assassin pretty much made her followed him to the lake where that shadow creature thing is located, and it took Saber. The shadow thing took Saber, and there was nothing that Shiro could do about it. And honestly, I'm a little curious because Assassin has been on the lake twice. He went there when he fought Lancer, and now with Saber. And the shadow thing made no attempts to take Assassin, which leads me to believe that the old Mato guy is some way, somehow controlling this dark entity. Because if it was only going after servants, then the logical thing is that it would have gone after Assassin as well, and it didn't. So I'm assuming that the Mato old guy has something to do with it. He's controlling it some way or somehow. I don't know how yet, but yeah, that's the thing. That's pretty much it. But after Saber was taken and Shiro was up against the wall, and this was completely unexpected to me, but Ryder shows up.
What the fuck?
I thought she was dead, to be honest, because when we finally saw her in the first part of the movie, it looked like she was dead. It looked like she disappeared, but I guess she was just went into spirit form, which I honestly think there should be some distinction between a servant going into spirit mode and them disappearing because they're dead. I feel like there should be some kind of distinction in animation there, but we all thought she was dead, and Shinji's command seals burned out. So that was really funny because Shinji would never send Ryder to save Shiro, especially not from his grandfather, unless he got mad of what his grandfather said to him, and that's why he did it. But I don't think that's the case. So what I actually think is going on here, and I'm not sure if that's the case, and I'm not even sure if it's possible, but I think Sakura has something to do with it. Maybe she asked Shinji. Maybe she asked Shinji for a favor, or maybe, and this is completely speculation, at the beginning of the movie, the grandfather guy told Shinji that he had no interest in him anymore. and that he didn't expect anything from him. That being said, maybe, and this is me highly speculating here, maybe he forced Sakura to resummon Rider. And I don't know if that resummoning is possible, but another possibility is that Rider went into spirit mode, into a spirit form, and since Shinji's command seals burned up, maybe, just maybe, the old guy forced Sakura to make a pact with the servant. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm highly speculating because the only person from the Mato family that will risk saving Shiro, to me, is Sakura. And this movie is highly focused on her. So that's the only explanation that I can think of for why Ryder saves Shiro. Also, Sakura has been acting pretty shady. Not shady, but she's been really mysterious this whole movie, as in she has a greater part to play in this greater war. So that's the only thing that I can think of as to why Ryder would save Shiro. Now, that's pretty much the end of this movie. That's where it ended up. So Shiro lost Saber. The Mato grandfather, which is pretty crazy. So now the Matos, I believe, have 2 representatives in the Great War. So that's kind of funny to me. So now they have double the chances of winning. And with Saber out of the picture, I mean, I don't know if she's out completely, because I'm pretty sure Shiro's gonna try to get her back some way, somehow. I did react to that fight before where Saber fights Berserker, and it's from that movie as well, from the Heaven's Feel movie 2. So I actually don't know if Shiro ever gets Saber back. Saber looks completely different, and they also showed us a little bit of that process where we got like this little, I don't know if I could call it it wasn't a flashback. It was pretty much like they showed us something inside of the dark creature and what Saber was going through, where she pretty much got to meet her dark side, and that's who I'm assuming comes out later on and becomes Saber but altered. So that was pretty interesting. Hopefully they go into more detail into what it is that this creature is actually doing to the servants. And if that's the case, I'm wondering if Lancer is going to come back also as an altered servant, because when he was taken, his heart was gone and he might have already been dead. So I don't know if he survived or not. I don't think he can survive without a heart, but then again, the dark entity still took him, and that's the last we got to see of Lancer. So maybe we get to see him come back as an altered servant. So that'll be really dope. So that was pretty much it for this movie. It ended up in a really low note. Pretty much Shiro is defeated. The old guy has pretty much control of everything right now. At this point, he's beaten Lancer, he's beaten Caster, he's beaten Saber. 3 servants out of the running already. The only servants that are left are Archer and Hercules. Then it's Assassin. It's just Assassin versus them 2. And if the old guy keeps controlling the dark entity, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for any of the other servants to defeat him, just because I believe this thing can either can even beat Hercules, because this dark shadow thing doesn't necessarily kill servants. It just takes them and takes control of them some way, somehow. So he, like, Hercules' noble phantasm wouldn't really come into play here. So it's gonna be pretty tough for them to defeat the old Mato guy. It's gonna be really, really tough. Also, Gilgamesh is left, but he hasn't pretty much shown anything so far. I would definitely love to see a fight between Gilgamesh and Assassin, but actually scratch that, because we did get to see a fight between Gilgamesh and Assassin in Zero. Granted, it wasn't the same Assassin, but it was pretty quick. Then again, it was a little bit of a cheap shot and it was a plan. But I just think it would be really cool to see, like, Assassin dodging all of Gilgamesh's, like, projectiles. That'll be really nice to see. Like, if we could get probably like a minute scene of that, of Assassin just dodging Gilgamesh's Gilgamesh's noble phantasms, that'll be awesome. And actually, I think that'll make for an interesting fight, because it will pretty much be Gilgamesh trying to keep away Assassin, because as soon as Assassin touches Gilgamesh will die, supposedly, considering what we saw with Lancer. So it will be an interesting fight dynamic. It will be Gilgamesh pretty much shooting projectiles at Assassin, and if Assassin can manage to dodge all of Gilgamesh's noble phantasms and gets close enough to Gilgamesh, then pretty much the fight is over. So that'll be really nice to see. Actually, yes, that'll be an awesome fight to see. Maybe we get to see that in the next movie, maybe not, I'm not sure, but hopefully we get to see some of that. But that was pretty much it for the movie. It ended up in a really low note. I did love the animation. It was on point, as always, for Fate, especially for movies. Movies have a higher budget than the regular animated series, but it was really nice. The animation was on point. I can't complain, to be honest. The plot was pretty good. I can't wait to see the next Heaven's Feel movie. I'm gonna watch that probably right now, right after this. And yeah, it was a great movie so far. Hopefully everything wraps up neatly in the next one. Although I don't know if it's gonna end, because I know Heaven's Feel movie 3 is coming out. So maybe this movie that I'm gonna see now, Heaven's Feel 2, doesn't have a definitive ending yet, and maybe that comes in part 3 of the movie. So yeah, I got something to look up to. Wait for that review on that movie. And that's pretty much been it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and again, please help me out reach my goal of 100 subs. I would really appreciate it. And go ahead, subscribe to my backup channel. That would really be awesome. And that's pretty much it. Great movie, and as I always say, please enjoy the rest of your day, and see you next time.